Sarva Karma Sudame Zedan Shreya Guru Ha 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 Hoy Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Badra Mame Munda Branze Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva Om Mandra Sattva Samaya Manu Balaya Bandra Sattva Deno Pai Dishra Dedo Me Bhav Soto Kaya Me Bhava Zubu Kaya Me Bhava Anuradho Me Bhava Sarva Sete Me Praya Sarva Krama Suza Me Zedan Shreya Guru Ha 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 hoy Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Bandra Mame Munda Branze Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva
All mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. All mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and all knowingness. May they experience happiness and be separated from suffering. I will quickly establish them in the state of the most perfect and precious Bodhi. Thus, until I achieve Buddha, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time, tomorrow, I engage in virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. In the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent, I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent. I take refuge until Bodhi is reached. By the merit of generosity and other perfections, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, most excellent. I take refuge until Bodhi is reached by the merit of generosity and other perfections. May I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all wandering beings. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness, may they be liberated from suffering, and the causes of suffering, may they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all the sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness, and the causes of happiness, may they be liberated from suffering, and the causes of suffering, may they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, limitless as the sky, have happiness, and the causes of happiness, may they be liberated from suffering, and the causes of suffering, may they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from the bias of attachment and aversion. Bajra samaja, bajra samaja, bajra samaja. Protectors of all sentient beings without exception, deities who vanquish the ruthless hordes of Maras, knowers of everything as it is, Bhagavans and your retinues, please come here. Argyam padyam pushpe tupe aloke gende nevede shabda pratija soham. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, fog, continent, sun, and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land, and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure realm. Whatever slight virtue that may have been gathered through prostrating, offering, confessing, rejoicing, requesting, and beseeching, I now dedicate to complete Bodhi. Please turn to our main manual on page 2, near Nipa's Fivefold Mahamudra manual. On page 2, under the preliminaries, this tells us that there are the common and the special preliminaries. The common preliminaries have two parts: instructions on using the 100-syllable mantra to purify the mind stream, to purify our minds, to clear from our minds all the especially negative habitual propensities, all the causes of suffering. In particular, here, it's clearing all those that may most immediately stand in the way of us remaining focused, remaining interested, remaining committed to practicing the Fivefold Path. Because in some ways, of course, even in these two preliminaries of the 100-syllable mantra for clearing the obscurations and mandala offering to accumulate both merit and wisdom, just these two preliminaries is in fact, in essence, also what the path basically consists of. On the one hand, clearing the adventitious stains, the temporary arising stains, the stains that arise due to the three poisons. The three poisons are due to not knowing. Marikpa, in Tibetan, marikpa, not knowing. From not knowing arises delusion. which is dimuk. Then from delusion arises the two other poisons of attachment and aversion. So, what does the path consist of? The path consists of clearing all of these obscurations. And in the very act of clearing the obscurations, the Buddha qualities can shine brighter and brighter and brighter. So, on the relative side of things, we call this the accumulation of merit and wisdom. So, even in the preliminaries, it's already, we are already shown what is the status of our minds, our nature of minds. What is, in the Zen tradition, they call it, what is the host, who is the host, and who is the guests. The host is the very nature of mind. The guests, they come and go. They are the adventitious poisons that arise and dissolve and arise and dissolve. So here, and the instructions of mandala offering to complete the accumulations. First, in a secluded place, sit on a comfortable cushion in the vajra posture. Straighten the spine. Place your hands in the gesture of meditative equipoise below the navel. Gaze at the tip of the nose. Let your gaze be soft. Let your gaze drop down into that space in front of you, about a foot to 2 feet. Let your tongue lightly touch the upper palate. Leave your teeth and lips in their natural position, then let breath flow comfortably. Page 4, having relaxed the exhalation and inhalation of breath, little by little, free from effort, breath exhales and inhales just as it is. When you are well seated in this way, then you are seated in the Bodhisattva posture. When we settle our body in this way, then breath follows in tow. Breath begins to settle. When breath settles, mind settles. It also helps to enter this with a determination, with bodhicitta. With bodhicitta, we set aside distractions. With bodhicitta, we set aside this habit of running around, planning this, planning that. With bodhicitta, we say, let body settle, let breath settle, let mind settle, let the heart become freed in its own place. When body, breath, and mind are all at ease with each other, present for each other, then we put ourselves in a good place, in a good and skillful place for then cultivating those qualities that we admire in the Buddhas, in the objects of refuge. We can rely on the Dharma to get us there and know that the noble Sangha are always protecting us, caring for us, guiding us, leading us. So we have safe refuge in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. This is not so much a path of achieving as it is a path of undoing. Undoing unskillful habitual propensities, undoing unskillful habitual patterns, letting go, putting down, laying aside. Be done with it, be completely done with it. It is said that one moment of truly laying aside, truly letting go, one mere moment of laying aside, of letting go, and maintaining presence has merit equivalent to making offerings to all Buddhas, past, present, and future, for countless eons. Such is the blessing and power of knowing how to lay aside, how to let go, how to drop it, how to stop grasping and chasing, how to stop being busy. Rejoice in these merit of being present, of laying aside, and dedicate this merit to the happiness and well-being of all beings everywhere without exception. At your own pace, when you're ready, reflect on the difficulty of obtaining the freedoms and advantages which you have now obtained in this precious human life that you have. Reflect on how easily any of these freedoms and advantages may slip away even now in this lifetime. Recognizing that we don't want to squander away the jewel that we have right now. So we recall the truth of impermanence and change, and ultimately the truth of death. That death will come as a thief when you don't expect it. No one who got robbed today thought an hour before that or the day before that that soon I will be robbed. Same with the Lord of Death. Same with change, even now. That is less than death, but takes away the freedoms and advantages. However, none of this is haphazard, and so we can perhaps gain some confidence, consolation from understanding the unmistaken workings of karmic cause and effect, and so settle the heart and not have to feel that it's so completely out of control. Also trust in the unmistaken nature of cause and effect. And finally, recognize the flaws of samsara. As long as we are in cyclic existence, powered by the three poisons, ultimately rooted in not knowing or knowing wrongly, marikpa, then there is no real happiness in this cycle. And so to be liberated from samsara, not just ourselves, but also to be able to lead others to be free from the cycle of birth and death, the cycle of confusion. We take refuge in the three jewels, and in particular, we practice the meditation and recitation of Bhagavan Vajrasattva. Now we are on page 6 of our manual. In an instance, recognize yourself as the idam, whichever idam that you're most comfortable with. Recognize yourself as the idam, appearing in the form of a fully awakened Buddha, whether it's Buddha Shakyamuni, whether it's Chakasamvara, Manjushri, or Avalokiteshvara, or Tara, appear in the form of idam. Above your head on the full moon disk, a hum, which is inside a vajra, instantly transform into Bhagavan Vajrasattva. His body complexion is white, like the peak of a snow mountain touched by the rays of the sun. His legs are crossed, with the right leg slightly extended. With his two hands, the right holds a vajra at his heart and the left holds a bell resting on his hip. He is adorned with various jewel ornaments. At his heart center, in the middle of a moon disk, is a hung syllable surrounded by the 100-syllable mantra. From this hung syllable, light rays emanate that goes out to clear the obscurations of all sentient beings. These light rays also go out, pulling in streams of elixir from the hearts of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. This dissolves into the hum, causing streams of elixir to flow from the hum in the heart center of Bhagavan Vajrasattva, who is in essence our guide, our guru. And that elixir fills the entire body of the Guru Vajrasattva until there's no more space, and therefore that elixir flows out of the tip of the Guru's right big toe. The elixir that flows out cascades down to us like a waterfall. The stream of elixir enters the crown of our head, so that the stream of elixir is not just going onto the surface of our body, but also inside the body, so that all the collections of misdeeds, obscurations, and transgressions from beginningless samsaric lifetimes are flushed away, washed away, like dirt, washed out by water. Feel this cascade of elixir flushing through your entire form, inside, outside, cleaning completely both inside and outside, so that the stream of elixir fills you from the toes all the way up to your crown. Know that this elixir is flowing from the Hong syllable in the heart of Guru Vajrasattva. At your own pace, when you are ready, recite the Vajrasattva mantra for as many times as you want, at whatever speed you want. I'm going to turn off my volume so that my pace of chanting is not deciding for you your pace of chanting. Don't forget that the recitation and meditation is only one of the four powers that we need to apply in order for this cleanse to be effective. the power of regret with regards to unskillful actions that we have done in the past, the power of relying on Guru Vajrasattva, being inspired by Guru Vajrasattva, trusting that Guru Vajrasattva, because how they have themselves cleared all obscurations, we are encouraged by that and knowing that we too can do this. Then the power of remedy, which is the meditation and the recitation, and the power of resolve, making strong resolve that we are going to give up this unskillful actions of body, speech, and mind. We're going to eradicate the habit patterns that are unskillful and harmful. Om Bhat. Om Bhadra Sattva Samaya Manupaya Bhadra Sattva Teno Bhattishta Dedo Suto Kayu Supo Anurado Memo Sarva Siddham Yacha Sarvaka Sujame Chidam Shreya Guru Sarva Tata Tata Bajra Ja Bajre Bhava Samaya Sadhu. Then to the top of page 8. I am ignorant and bewildered. I have transgressed and broken my samayas. O Guru Protector, grant me refuge. And Guru Vajrasattva then responds with, child of the family. This family is the family of Buddha. So we are bodhisattvas, and that's why we're called child of the family. Your broken samayas, negativities, and obscurations are cleared. Finally, the Bhagavan dissolves into you, becoming inseparable from your own body, speech, and mind. Rest in meditative equipoise on the meaning of the union of appearance and emptiness. Then on page 9, on the top of page 9, here are the instructions for mandala offering, reminding us it's good if you have two mandala plates. One, the accomplishment mandala, established in the space in front, with the Guru in the central pal, and then in the four directions, the Idam, the Buddhas, the Dharma, and the Sangha, surrounded by all the Dharmapalas, so in the space in front. Then we create the offering mandala. Same shape, but this is what we offer. So in the offering mandala, on page 11, it says in the center is Mount Meru, and the east Purva Videha, Jambudipa, Aparakodaniya, Uttarakuru, sun, moon, overflowing with the glorious and perfect riches of gods and humans. And imagine this offering and all that we like, all that we treasure, all that we want, all that we desire. All of that we include is this in this mandala offering and offer to the three jewels, to the three roots. So today we don't have the mandala plate, and so we just visualize both of this, and then with the mudra of mandala offering, like this. So the ring fingers that stand up is Mount Meru, then the interlaced fingers form the four continents, and then sun and moon we offer. If you have a mala easily available next to you, then you let the mala rest inside, like circling this mandala, symbolizing all the different jewels, all the different available offerings. Then page 11, bottom of page 11. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, four continents, sun and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure land. To you, sublime gurus, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. To you, Idam deities, and you noble three jewels, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept then, O Gurus, Idams, and noble three jewels. I pray that you generate supreme realization within me. Another offering. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, four continents, sun and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land, and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure land. To you, sublime gurus, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. To you, Idam deities, and you, noble three jewels, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. O Gurus, Idams, and noble three jewels, I pray that you generate supreme realization within me. This ground sprinkled with scented waters and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, four continents, sun and moon, I hold in mind as a Buddha land, and offer it. May all wandering beings experience such a pure land. To you, sublime gurus, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. To you, Idam deities, and you, noble three jewels, I offer my body, possessions, and roots of virtue as an offering. Please accept them. O Gurus, Idams, and noble three jewels, I pray that you generate supreme realization within me. Then on page 13, then at the end of the session, dissolve the field of accumulation, the field of merit that is in front into yourself, and rest in the profound meaning of the inseparability between us and the objects of offering, the objects of refuge. So again, these two preliminaries of Vajrasattva and mandala offering, in a way, they are also pointing in the direction of the two qualities that we should cultivate, we have to cultivate to give rise to bodhicitta, which is cultivating loving kindness and cultivating compassion. In that sense, mandala offering is cultivating, related to cultivating loving kindness. Because in mandala offering, you're thinking of all the wonderful things, all the amazing things, all the things that we enjoy. And we are offering that. And in offering that, we're wishing that all beings get to enjoy all of this. And ultimately, they enjoy existing, enjoy experiencing all of this as a pure land. So that is related to cultivating metta, loving kindness. And then Vajrasattva purification is then connected to compassion. In the practice of compassion, we are paying attention to how suffering came. Suffering came as a result of unskillful actions. Unskillful actions done under the power of the three poisons. So then we let go, we clear, we lay aside. So sometimes I've seen, in Gyupa Rinpoche's instructions, when he talks about these two preliminaries, sometimes it's switched the order. He starts with mandala offering first, and then Vajrasattva. These days, when the ngondro, the preliminaries are done, definitely it is done with Vajrasattva first, then mandala offering. In fact, these days there are 4 to this. First refuge with prostrations, then Vajrasattva, then mandala offering, and then Guru Yoga, just like the common ngondro, and also the large group ngondro that some of us are doing. So these days, this is the common order. But if you look at the older, early material, Gyalpa Rinpoche's instructions sometimes easily switch between the two and say, you do mandala offering, then you do Vajrasattva. And I think this is because there is definitely a connection between these two common preliminaries with the two aspects of the uncommon, the special preliminary, which is now page 13. The second part, the special preliminary, the uncommon preliminary, has 3 sections: cultivating loving kindness, and then compassion. Then on the basis of these two, giving rise to bodhicitta. As our precious Lord said, if the steed, if the horse of love and compassion does not run for the benefit of others, so for the benefit of others is the motivation of unbiased loving kindness and compassion. If this competition is not engaged in, if we do not compete for the benefit of others, then we will not be rewarded by gods and humans. We will not be praised by gods and humans. We will not be cheered on and approved by gods and humans. Meaning all that exists, will not be happy with us. And so therefore, we have to attend to this foundational attitude, giving rise to bodhicitta. Where it has not arisen, may it arise. Where it has arisen, we have to make it stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger, and not decline, and stronger until fully bodhicitta, both ultimate and relative bodhicitta, are fully actualized. First, the cause. So for cultivating loving kindness, there are 4 parts. Knowing what the cause for generating loving kindness is important. Being able to identify what is this loving kindness, what is the essence. Knowing how to enhance this loving kindness that we have generated, brought forth. And knowing the function, the purpose of cultivating loving kindness. These are the 4 aspects emphasized here in our text. So first, the cause. It arises from remembering the kindness of one's parents, abbots, teachers, and so on. So on means anybody else. When we remember their kindness, then this metta can arise. So here, I think we can say that these instructions also point to how metta is related to what in English we call gratitude. And the gratitude that arises as a reciprocal feeling when we recognize that we have been the recipient of someone's kindness. When we recognize that we have received so much kindness from others, then the heart of kindness comes out in the form of gratitude. So here it says, among these, the kindness of one's parents is greatest. How great is their kindness? They have given food to us as vast as Mount Meru. They have clothed us in garments as plentiful as the southern clouds, and given milk as vast as the ocean. They have wiped all away, all that was wet, and moistened all that was dry. Remembering such kindness is the cause, is the way for giving rise to a heart of loving kindness. So now we can reflect on whoever it is that most easily, that we can most easily give rise to gratitude. And in gratitude, wishing kindness on others, on the other, on the object. Elsewhere, Kyoba Rinpoche also says that it's quite natural to be able to feel this metta towards the little ones, the tiny ones. By that, he mainly means children. But by extension, we can think of pets, since pets are many people's children these days. So this is a method for giving rise to metta. So don't grasp too much about, oh, this is right, that is not right. In some instructions, Gyoba Rinpoche even says, and if all else fails, then you can think of someone that you love, someone that is close to you, intimate to you. But avoid the grasping, okay? An object that can easily make you smile, make you feel warm, fuzzy. And from there, and this is the essence, this is the identification. What feeling is this? This is a feeling that arises upon seeing a child, a little one that you cherish, that you care about. Then enhance this by radiating this outwards in all directions to all beings everywhere, without exception. Let it radiate in all directions. A little smile on your face can also enhance this. This is the truko, the magical wheel of the body, which is a slight smile on your face. The magical wheel of speech you can repeat. May you be well and happy. May you be free from danger and enmity. May you take care of yourself happily. Any of these can be the magical wheel of speech. The magical wheel of mind is to remember this kindness that you have received and the gratefulness that emanates out. Loving kindness is a powerful force field that can prevent all undesirable things, all undesirable conditions from harming us. All the way to Siddhartha, through the power of loving kindness, was able to overcome the hordes of Maras on the eve of enlightenment. On page 18, instructions on cultivating compassion. So, with loving kindness as the basis, loving kindness really, metta, is the basis for cultivating the other three of the four immeasurables, if we're talking about the four immeasurables. But here, of course, in this context, it's only loving kindness and compassion that is being highlighted. So, likewise, you can think of here that compassion, when we have loving kindness as a reliable, firm basis from where we are working from, when we have that, as a reliable basis of where we are coming from, everything becomes a lot easier. When we don't have this metta as a basis, then practice can feel so heavy, especially compassion, because now it says cultivate thinking. How pitiable are all mother sentient beings as vast as space, especially the enemies who hate me and all of us, the obstructors who harm us, and those who create obstacles to liberation and all-knowingness. In the Lojong 7 points, it says that particular practice tradition, that particular text, it says, when the world rise up, when the world, when it feels like the entire world is rising up with evil intentions, evil, actions, and we, in our own ways, feel that as if the whole world has risen up, to engage in evil, engage in the causes of suffering, creating suffering. We can feel so helpless. But if we ground ourselves in loving kindness, because objectively, even in the midst when you are feeling that the whole world has turned to evil, good is still everywhere. This is not about, ignoring suffering. This is about skillfully engaging suffering. And the only way we can skillfully engage suffering, meaningful way we can engage suffering, is if we first have the protection of loving kindness. Then there is no problem, no fear facing the suffering that we see, facing the suffering that is all around us, including facing our own sufferings. On page 19, therefore cultivate this until tears stream down and your hair stands on end and your mind is overcome with the thought, how pitiable are these mothers sinking in the ocean of samsara. Though they desire happiness, they engage in the causes of suffering and experience its results. This is not blaming the victim, like in common talk these days, and they say a lot about, oh, don't blame the victim, don't gaslight, yes, don't do all those things. But this meditation, really, you have to see, cause and effect. They are ignorant of the methods to abandon suffering. And they include you and me. This is not like a superior position, me here, if you're honest about it, you can count yourself among the day. But you can also radiate compassion. Not being cared for by a sublime spiritual friend, they are like blind people without a guide. And then here you bring up the courage but I shall be their guide. And in order to be their guide, in order for your compassion to actually go somewhere, you need great courage. Great courage can be more easily cultivated and enhanced when your baseline is metta, is loving kindness. So now let's take a few moments to reflect on these words on page 18 and 19 on ourselves. You can also go back to all your own experiences of suffering, whether 1 year ago, 1 week ago, 1 month ago, or back to a vivid experience of suffering when you were a child, and radiate compassion towards that child. wishing that child to be free from pain, to be free from suffering, wishing that child to be free from confusion, to be free from fear, to be safe, to be protected. Recognize that we can end suffering by putting aside suffering. Not ignoring, but putting aside. So in the practice of purification, the words are tol shak. Tol is to expose, is to not hide anymore, is to face directly. So facing directly the causes of suffering. We then shak, which is to lay aside, to put aside. To be free from suffering, we have to let go of suffering. Without making that determination, then there's no way out. Just as Kyopa Rinpoche says, the greatest of all pith instructions he has ever heard in his life, including all the wondrous pith instructions that he received from his gurus, in particular, the Buddha Mahamudra. He says, despite all these great pith instructions, nothing was more profound than what his mother said to this neighbor woman who had suffered the loss of her husband. Kyopa Rinpoche's mother said to her, as long as you still want to carry the suffering around, you will never be free from this suffering. You have to let it go already. Let it go already. Wish for all beings this ability to sooner rather than later let go of this suffering. Of course, there are conditions in this world where objectively people are being tortured, people are being forced out of their homes and all of that. So for those conditions, we radiate loving kindness. We wish for them to escape those terrible conditions. But with regards to the suffering that we hold as mental, emotional baggage, every one of us can unload that. Every one of us can put that aside, even if the conditions of suffering that are external is not admittedly that easy to just put aside. But the emotional toil, the emotional heaviness, the resentment, the pain, that we can set aside. That we can lay aside. And with this cultivating of loving kindness and compassion, we move in the direction of bodhicitta. And here on page 19, bodhicitta has two parts, aspiration and application or action. First, for aspiration, bodhicitta generate the following. all enemies who bear hatred towards me and all of us, obstructors who harm us, and the mandala, the circle of Maras, the dark forces that create disharmonious conditions and obstruct the attainment of liberation and all-knowingness. May all sentient beings as numerous as space, especially our father and mother, those not yet liberated from the ocean of suffering that is samsara, be liberated. Those not yet freed from the bondage of defilements, be freed. Those who have not yet found rest in the hearer vehicle and the solitary realizer vehicle, be brought to rest in the bodhisattva vehicle. And those who have not yet fully transcended suffering, I will lead them to completely transcend suffering through the great vehicle. So this is the commitment to achieving Buddhahood for the benefit, for the sake of all beings. And this is aspiration bodhicitta. Furthermore, as the Bodhisattva points out, and now we are on page 22, at the bottom of page 22, from aspiration bodhicitta, although great results arise while we are still in samsara, even if we are still in samsara, it is still not like the mind of action bodhicitta from which merit arises in a continuous stream. Therefore, we should also generate application bodhicitta with the following words. Until I reach the heart of awakening, I will apply my body, speech, and mind to virtue for as long as I live, and from now until this time tomorrow, I will take into my experience this great vehicle, profound path of the union of the creation and completion stages. So the specific instance of applying body, speech, and mind to virtue in this context of the Fivefold Path is to cultivate the creation and completion stages. So we make a commitment to cultivating the creation and completion stages as acts of application bodhicitta. Of course, there are many ways to practice application bodhicitta in our daily lives, but in terms of a powerful training, we train in the creation and completion stages. Then, in terms of the Fivefold Mahamudra, cultivating idam and cultivating devotion to the Guru are aspects of creation stage. And then natural state Mahamudra is completion stage. Once we have given rise to application bodhicitta in a genuine way, again the Bodhicayyavatara says, and now we're on bottom of page 23, from that moment on, even when one is asleep, or even when one becomes heedless, a great force of merit and uninterrupted stream equal to space will continuously arise. So glorious Pamadrupa says, with the river of loving kindness not being cut off, and the root of compassion being well moistened, then the tree of bodhicitta would fully flourish, causing the fruition of the two benefits to ripen for the sake of others. So these are the stages of practice, then leading to next, cultivating idam. In this text, the idam is Chakasamvara, and somewhat detailed instructions on Chakasamvara. But we can take those principles of cultivating Chakasamvara as a idam and adapt to however we practice idam, or whichever idam that is more natural for us. Then, appearing in the form of idam, then cultivate the guru in the space above us, or keep the guru in the heart. Either place is fine. Then receive 4 empowerments from the guru. Then with the 4th empowerment, which is the Mahamudra empowerment, you could say, but it's commonly called the precious word empowerment. With the 4th empowerment, then we engage in the natural state Mahamudra, beginning with, right now, we have reached the point where it says, holding yourself as the idam, with the Guru's blessings ever present. Then in the center of your heart, visualize a blue drop, a blue bindu, at the size of a sesame seed. And keep letting your mind rest in that bindu. That bindu is also your mind, actually. Then let your mind rest in your mind. So don't think too much about it. Just let your mind rest in the blue bindu. Yourself in the form of idam. And remember that in idam practice, don't let your size be limited to your current size. Don't let your location be limited to your current location. Big and spacious, filling all of time and space, is yourself as idam. Know that you are blessed with the presence of the Guru. And then in your heart, the size of a sesame, of a mustard seed, a blue drop. This blue drop is the door to liberation. Sapphire blue, shiny, radiant. If you are the tactile type, you may want to, keep a little bead, blue in color, in your pocket throughout the day. Whenever you get a chance, take the bead out, put it in front of you, let your mind rest on that, then slowly bring that into the heart center. These are kind of ways to bring that practice into rest of the day. Then you're like, no, I don't need such. Some people don't, some people do. Then throughout the day, if you can recall the blue bindu in the center of your heart. Now the center of your heart is the gateway to liberation. Let your mind go there. Stay there. Remain with the blue bindu. As I'm sure you have read forward a little bit, later we cultivate different color bindus, 4 colors in the 4 places. And elsewhere, Kyoba Rinpoche has explanations for in each of these places what kinds of energies, what kinds of afflictive emotions that tend to kind of have that space as their dwelling space, and how this blue bindu can dispel when placed there. We can have more, you could say, more ability, to work with the different strong poisons, to dispel them based on giving them a location in our body. So anyway, today we're going to stop here. Please go to page 74 for the dedication. 78. By their virtues collected in the 3 times by me in the entirety of samsara and nirvana, and by the innate root of virtues, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain the unsurpassed, perfect, complete, precious Bodhi. Changchu Semcho Rinpoche Ma Ge Ba Nam Ge Gyu Chi Ge Ba Nyam Ba Me Ba Gong Ne Gong Du Bell One. So want to bring attention to everyone. I already shared this, but to mention again, I'm using now a different format to share more, substantive passages from the early Kagyupa masters, especially from Kyoba Jigten Sumgen and his immediate successors, on this platform called Substack. Substack is different from Facebook, Instagram, definitely different from TikTok. There's no ads or anything like that. And as I think Nathan pointed out, there are different ways to even connect with Substack. You could do a subscription whereby you get emails sent directly to you, so you never have to go to Substack itself or to use the app itself. I'm still learning how to use Substack. The other aspect of Substack is it allows you, as far as I understand, 2 basic types of postings. One is like notes, which is more like Facebook, kind of supposed to be brief, although I think people do post longer things. And then there is when you subscribe. When you follow, I think you only see, if you go to Substack, then you see that, what I post as notes. But if you subscribe, I think you get emails sent to you. So I'm still learning. So maybe you can learn and you can tell me. But one thing is, I recently posted, let me know that you're reading these. Let me know that So you should figure out ways, whether to leave a comment or to like. This is not about gaining more fans. This is me knowing, okay, I'm not like, throwing this into the ocean, putting salt in the ocean. So I can't read minds, I'm trying to figure out like if Substack is a good direction to go. So before I invest more in going in this direction, I it's good to know. Yes, I think.
Yes. If Nathan could teach, when I tried it, there was all this news flooding me instead of, I couldn't even find you. So if there's a way to just get your information, maybe you could type it up for us.
I don't even know that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not,
Okay.
because there's a way, I'm sure, that you indicate to them you don't want to know about these other things. So you have to put some effort into that. And by you saying that, I know probably you are looking at it on the website. But there's also a subscriber where you only get emails as well. So there is news, but it's different from. It's much more intentional.
There's
So
an app. There's a
yeah,
Substack app
yes,
which you
yes,
can download.
yes. There's app, and I think
With that.
Ani Somo is also talking about the app or the website. But there is no. I don't think there's any possibility of only me. No, the nature
I,
of this is other people.
I
So,
posted a link to directly subscribe to you in the Fivefold Mahamudra chat.
yeah. So you follow the link and you go there and you
Yeah,
subscribe me. You
I
don't
did.
just go to Substack and
Okay. I did go follow, but I got tons of news. So I'll try again.
you need teenagers in your life. So you have to go look for a neighbor and say, hey, come over. I'll give you cookies. And then they figure it out for you. They set it up for you. Yes, Rajani.
So, should we go into Substack now onwards, or it's not?
No,
Uh,
nothing to do. It's no substitute. It's just an outlet for me to post passages that I'm working on.
mhm.
So almost daily I post.
um, I think what I'm trying to understand uh, is it something we have to do, or we
No,
can just stay with what
no,
is there?
no. I think again, same advice. You need a teenager in your life for half an hour, and you bribe them with cookies or movie or whatever that they are into, and you tell them, I want to get on Substack because I'm interested in this one posting, one set of postings. Can you set me up for that? And then they will explain how it works.
Okay, but the regular WhatsApp and all that is still there, right?
Yes, yes, nothing has
Okay,
changed. Nothing has changed.
okay,
As I said, this is just another place for me to post. Yeah, things that I'm working on, things that have never been translated and published, as far as I know. If you want to know more, go to Substack and look for that. If you
okay,
say, no, 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 this is too much technology, too much information, then nothing to do. Just
all right,
stay as you are.
all right. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Haru? Cannot hear you.
No,
You have.
yeah, yes, sorry. A
Uh-huh.
very small detail, Dr. Lee. Do you remember that you changed the audio mode when you were in Cusco? I don't know if you change it again, but the audio is a little bit. I hear you. Your voice is like dispersed. I don't know if it's only me.
Everything has, I'm just looking at my audio settings. Everything is the same.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is the same as before. So,
Okay. So maybe it's, thank you.
yeah. So I'm looking at the audio settings as you are asking. Original sound for musicians, MacBook Pro speakers, and MacBook Pro microphone. Yep, nothing has changed here.
Thank you.
But it varies from, day to day. All sorts of miraculous, annoying things can happen. Where sometimes it's annoying, sometimes it's miraculous. That's the nature of technology. So, yes, Judy.
There's a search button on Substack,
Mm-hmm.
and people can put in your name,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes up with your postings.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Yes, there are, it's a new thing you have to explore. Again, if you easily get overwhelmed by these things, then stay away. You don't need to go there. Or, like I said, make good friends with some teenager who is patient enough to help you navigate. Otherwise, just stay away. Yeah. Marpa traveled to Nepal, fighting bandits and wild animals to obtain the Dharma. So I'm not comparing myself to Marpa or Naropa, but do what you can, take what you need, and then okay, bye bye.